Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 2014 Insight Innovation Exchange, hosted by Greenbook and Gen2 Advisors, sponsored by Research Now. My name is Ben Smithy, CEO of Spike Market Analytics, and today I am here with Mr. Michalis Michael from DigitalMR. Michalis, thanks so much for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Pleasure.
So Michalis, Insight Innovation Exchange, what does this mean to our industry, and what are your thoughts about the conference so far?
I like it. I think it's a fresh approach to market research conferences. Some of them are really boring out there, and the organizers here have done a great job in adding certain elements that make this different and more exciting.
Such as what?
Such as the gamification element that encourages people to engage more, the speed dating with clients who read the blurbs of different agencies and decide if they want to meet with them, and you get 5 minutes to talk about something they're interested in. I also like the attitude of the clients who come to this event more so than some other events, because they're here actively looking for innovation. And so it's not like someone from the agency side like me has to, constantly be looking to.
It seems open. It seems
it's open
very
and more
collaborative
exactly.
and looking for that versus that aversion that you do see sometimes.
Absolutely.
I understand completely what you mean. What is it doing? So you guys are focused in the social intelligence space. And in a unique way, you're focused on solving some of the issues with current social intelligence platforms and things that we have going on right now, specifically around sentiment. Am I correct?
That's right.
So talk to us about innovation within your space and what you guys are doing in DigitalMR.
The problem with social media listening in market research is that it hasn't taken off. And even though there are about 250 social media monitoring tools out there, they haven't been developed to cater for the needs of a consumer insights manager. They have been developed for PR managers and customer service
agencies
managers. And so their sentiment accuracy is below 60%. And what we did was we focused on solving this problem, the sentiment accuracy issue, which we have. We are now hitting consistently over 85% in any language. And that makes it makes sentiment analysis and social media listening a credible tool for the consumer insights manager.
And how is this empowering them to do their jobs better and solve problems for the brand and move the brands forward?
Yeah, a key thing about any insight and our definition of an insight is you have to combine multiple sources, and there's a little bit of gut feeling involved as well. Yeah. It's not just a fact, it's not a number. And so how it helps them and empowers them is you have the asking questions type of data source, which is traditional research, and now you have listening, which is another different type of information, unsolicited, and there's even a third piece of or bucket of information, which would be behavior tracking. So if you can combine these three, then you can get to insights that were not accessible before.
Absolutely. What's next down there? So we talked about the aggregation of these three pieces, but from a social listening and social intelligence standpoint, what are the things that you guys are looking at? Like, what are things that have your eyes and your ears and things you're like, that's important?
Yeah. Well, we're working on the identification of sarcasm. We use machine learning algorithms to do the text analytics. So a number of areas our R&D department is focusing on is sarcasm, which has not been solved by anybody. It is the travel of ideas on the internet. Some other areas is to build personality profiles based on posts.
So based on the context of their posts and their content.
Right. And then, of course, emotions. Everybody talks about emotions. Some people even now say sentiment is not good enough, and I disagree with that. But definitely emotions is fine-tuning into what people are feeling, experiencing, and are trying to communicate.
That's super exciting, man. What about the other level, the personal level. So if you look at a lot of the universities and the MSMR programs, they're trying to develop top talent to feed our industry for the future and make sure that we continue along this path of innovation. Outside of the hard skills, like not the analytical and stuff, but what are the soft skills? Who's the personality? Who is the future researcher of tomorrow?
Yeah. I think in our world, in big data analytics, a data scientist has to not only have a degree in math and statistics and computer science, but creativity is probably the most important skill set for a person like this. And other than that, I would say that they have to be willing to break the rules in order to reinvent new rules, and we like to hire people who have a healthy dissatisfaction with the status quo.
How do you foster that? So, we hear a lot about that fear of failure and wanting to get away from that. What's caused us to be there now, and how do we get past that fear of failure?
I think it's difficult for somebody to come forward, especially a young person, and say, I screwed up. And then what will they get? They will get, some negative reaction, probably. What we do, and some other companies do too, is we like to celebrate problem discovery. So if somebody comes forward and says screwed up, then we say bravo, well done, because now we can improve.
Exactly.
If you hadn't come forward, how would we run a root cause analysis to discover what to improve?
Well, Michalis, thanks, and thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. Keep it up. I'm excited to see what else you guys come up with next.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
You heard it here at the 2014 Insight Innovation Exchange. My name is Ben Smithy. You just heard from Michalis Michael from DigitalMR. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.